My dear, we are the Upanishads, and we are a group of the collective in the Hindu Veda, where we understand the many forces in nature that exist, that have come to play in these lifetimes. We understand, my dear, that the love is keen on helping others, even though they might not be of the type that should be requiring your help. However, it is very necessary for you to continue with the assistance that is direly needed to others, and not to falter in these understandings that we have here today. Today, you can see and understand the many messages and the love that comes with the messages, with the incantations and intonations of the Vedic, that we must say it is for you and for the many members of the population that can understand this type of message. What we would want to inquire from many is that whether there is a need for these types of understandings, and whoever shall require of this, we will continue sending this type of data. My dear, it is you, of course, who understands this more than anyone, and you will understand it as an ability to look and understand beyond what you are capable in this lifetime. And that is a gift, my dear, a great gift of all and to all humanity, to be able to understand that these are the very important and vastly important many types of data that will be required. Therefore, we will continue at an increase with this type of information. And dear, do not hold back on anything that we have to say, for it is crucial that you understand this, as well as for those who seek this type of information on the Vedic understandings. And the love that we hold is dear to us all, and the love that is given is dear to us all. Therefore, we must say caution as well to those who do not understand this, that if this is not something that you wish to know, simply turn it off and continue on with your day. Do your research on what these teachings all mean and have in store for humanity. For everybody may be able to understand this, but only those who wish to seek this information should inquire within. Now, my dears, we hold all these scriptures very dear. All this type of data is dear to us. My friends, those of you who can stick around will learn a lot from this very vessel right here. She has had to endure all this information, and she has had to comprise and include the many forms of understandings within her, in her practice, in her instrument. And following will be many of the guidelines and many of the teachings that we have to offer to all humanity and to those who definitely wish to increase this type of information. We say none other than your research and your type of love for this kind of information should take you really far and should make you understand that the vessel is also here for you. We are all here for you, my dears. And there is much love to comprise within these here understandings, for they have to do with the increase of the love in the life, as well as the type of information and the type of giving and receiving that there is in this world. For it is the secret to humanity to complete the processes of which they have been required to complete, and to have passed many tests that have to do with the completion of the data that has been reminded of. And we say for the many of you that do not understand what is the information that is given here, we say, please do your research, and you will be able to understand and have an understanding to what these comprise, and the necessity for you to complete these processes will take you far when there is need in the heart and a want in the soul for more knowledge. There is nothing else but love that will come to you, and this knowledge will be ever comprising, will be ever enriching your lives, my dears. Have a heart to understand that these vast knowledges come with the great love, and that we must say is great in the heart and the love. Therefore, we must and shall continue. We shall continue with this information, my dears, so that many of you can have an understanding. Therefore, we say for the first piece of knowledge and information, and first in order, is to understand that within the vessel there are requirements of the life, and the soul has a deep compartment within the life, and it comprises of many parts, which is the mind, the heart, the soul, and the vessel that can be improved with the many forces of information that have in here been kept, and it will be improved by the seeking of this knowledge. We say, for those of you who can be enriched with it, you will have a complete understanding of this by the time we are finished. And for those of you who still want to seek information about this, my dear, is none other than the soul and the vessels, that even they, if they might not understand completely, they have incorporated all these understandings within their vessel, because they have been able to complete all these missions and know what it is about, and will be able to give the data. My dears, it is now that we say, hold in your heart the love and compassion that can complete these processes and improve upon in the nature of the love and the abilities to hold the entire free will of the personality of the person inside of the vessel. We say, to continue with this information, please include all the necessary steps that we must continue to mention. Here is the richness of this knowledge and what the vessel holds dear within her is the many interpretations of this. There are many interpretations of this type of information out there. However, herein are the true pieces of data that even the vessel does not understand, does not know about, but she has lived them. She knows what they are in the heart, mind, and soul, even though she has never learned about this. Therefore, it is key for this instruction to have a heart that if she does not say the words correctly or about what it means, it is understandable. We must continue. The first step here is to understand that the vessel inside the mind is and always will be the compartment with which you can entrain this mind and complete many processes to train the mind into being in the now and have an understanding for this, my dears, due to the nature of the capacities that will be required to improve upon yourself if you wish to continue. These are the steps to help you understand, and that in the processes of which we will continue to mention that are within the meditative status, you will become to an understanding, and the vessel now understand how important and dear it is to her to complete these missions and these messages, for it is a living that has been lived for centuries, that has been within the soul, but has now come into full fruition and has been completed due to the understandings and the teachings that she has been undergoing. And she has gone through these teachings through the meditative state of and been channeled these very processes through this meditative status. Therefore, if you wish to continue understanding how to become this type of vessel that will be able to channel these informations, and now you understand how important it is. We say none other that it is important for you to complete the processes of being in the status, in the meditative process. And this stasis, which we will call the very moment in which everything becomes real and becomes in the now. This stasis is important and imperative to come to, so that you may incorporate the many things that you wish to undertake during the future, in your future, within these timelines and in the time that you understand being in this earth. Now, to continue, the stasis is the important part to get to. Once you get to this stasis, it is important to now bring in, with increased devotion and love and the bliss that you might be willing and able to muster, bring into this stasis the very many composites of what it is you wish to undertake. Now, this, my dears, I reveal now that these are the secrets to manifestation and to being in alignment with what it is you really want and what it is you want to complete within this lifetime. Granted, being that it might be granted to you. Therefore, you will understand this as a completion to the manifestation once you fully complete and commit to these teachings, which will be to your benefit. You will benefit from being able to complete and to bring to fruition everything that has been delivered to you. Now, this is the very most, in the top of the information, the highest of information that many have sought. When you seek this kind of information, it is important to heavily understand this, to fully understand these pieces of data, so that you will be able to fully incorporate these methods. Now, we have told you the ending and what will be required towards the end, but the very beginning of this is being able to have the freedom of mind within the soul during the meditative status of incorporating the love, as well as many breathing techniques that we will teach you. But we wished to bring these teachings in this order set, so that the soul within will understand how important it is. And now that you understand what you want to accomplish, and that you really might be able to make use of this important piece of information, now we may continue with the beginning processes, of which is the meditative state, and being able to be in the now and bring to fruition all these processes from the very start. And we say, now, how you begin is making sure that you have that your body is in alignment as well. Therefore, you must sit in either sitting upright with your legs to the floor, or being in a sitting in a meditative position with your legs crossed. Also, it is important that you have your hands on top of each knee, one hand on top of each knee, if you can. Now, it is necessary to say that bringing the breathing into the upwards motion, being able to take a breath that is so deep that it is to your belly button. You should feel that breath to your belly button. And taking a deep breath, counting from 1 to 7 is very helpful. And then to the count of 7, take that deep breath all the way up. And then hold it for 4 counts. And then bring it back down for 7 counts. Remembering to always incorporate the love and, if possible, the bliss. The bliss is very necessary. You will get far for incorporating the bliss. And we must say, these teachings are very needed. Therefore, we must continue whatever it is that you hold dear in your life. Now bring it into these processes, whether it is the love for family members or the love for anything in your life that exists at the moment. Bring it. You will need it at a point where we will let you know. So now keep this same rhythm of deep breathing, going up for the count of 7, holding for 4, the count of 4, and bringing your breathing down to the count of 7, always relaxing, surrendering to the meditative process. This must be a complete surrender in order to work. Now, you take it up again, this breathing, and keep doing that until you get to a point where you can understand there is a stasis of the mind, and this will be felt and understood as a stillness, always focusing on the very top of your head, in between the place between the forehead. Focusing in that area always helps improve on this stasis. But the love you must have within your body, this is very important. the breathing, the love, the calm within the mind. Making sure that this calm becomes complete, and utter stillness inside the entire body. You must feel this in your entire body, this calmness. And the calmness comes when you surrender. The bliss also comes when you surrender, but you must incorporate the bliss in all of this. The love or the bliss, either one. So, my dears, it is important. Now, once you complete these meditative portions or the parts of this meditation that we have explained here, once you complete these and are able to complete these to a fruition and making sure that the stasis is in place, now you must align yourself with what it is you really want, and you can bring and utilize any of the aforementioned members of the family. Bring them into your mind's eye so that they will help increase in the bliss, because this is very important. It is very important for you to bring in the bliss. Make it ardent love. Love ardently. Therefore, it has to be something that you really love, or somebody that you really love, to keep in your mind's eye so that this process will come to a completion. Now we say there are many who do need this information, as the vessel has inquired for this type of information to be given to all. She is here to help you complete these processes. If you need to reach out to her, do so. If this is something that you think that you can complete on your own, this will be of great use for you. Now, once you come into this status where you can incorporate that love and bliss, the ardent love, it is necessary to bring this ardent love to this level. Once you get to this stasis, in order to align yourself with what it is that you really do want. Now that you have all these components in place, you will utilize them in the way to turn on these very many energies that will bring you what it is you want. Now make sure to hold the love. If it falters, do not worry, but do not waver from the stasis. Do not falter. Now, if you need to get back into your love, do so. Bring that love that is full and ardent within this process, and start all over with the love, and then continue. Do not continue if there is anything else but this ardent love. Only continue when there is this. All this has been incorporated within the meditative stasis. Now, in order to complete the process, and once you have the ardent love and this bliss within you, in your entire being and body, then you will hold what it is that you really want to accomplish in this lifetime and to do for yourself. And you will hold it and imagine it in any way, shape, or form coming through into your body and into your soul, into your life. Envision yourself as that person that you want to be. And bring all these components. Do not waver. Do not waver. Do not move from this stasis. However, if you do, do not worry, my dears. Just go back to the love and then begin the whole entire process again. There is no rush, my dears. That is going to help you. That is what's key. Do not be rushed. Don't feel the rush. You are going to stay in the stasis and complete this process with the bliss and the love. It is redundant because it is important. We are repetitive because these are the processes that will bring it to a fruition, what it is that you want. And once you complete this, you will know when it is completed, when it has been granted. You will know when this meditative process of being in alignment with what you really, really do truly want, you will know. And thusly, we say, this is how you come into alignment with what it is you want during the meditative state and being in a meditative body, mind, and soul. That is what it really means. That is the definition of being in the now and having the mind to bring all these components with you so that you will increase in all of the things that you wish to do within this lifetime. And we say proceed with caution because it is important to understand that these alignments should only be brought upon. You should only be in alignment with what it is that you truly do want. So, therefore, before you even start the meditative process, have it in your mind what it is that you really want in great detail. What it is. Write it down. Maybe write a few sentences, maybe a story. Write it down, in other words. And it is very important to be complete in writing every single detail and how it is and what it is that you really want. That is the key factor that you must bring before you start your meditative process. Always have that in mind when it is something that you want to be in alignment with. But we also say you can meditate like this and still be in the stasis, even if you don't want to be in alignment. And it will bring many great things into your life as well. They will come in place. They will come into place once you keep them in your heart. Do not falter. Do not bring the negative thoughts or ideas into your mind while you're doing this. Therefore, it is important to complete the very first steps in the beginning and then move on to the next steps. The very first step is being in the meditative state. That's the first step. Learning into full capacity, the breathing. And once you are able to be in the bliss, hold that bliss. That's the second step. First, the breathing. Second step is holding the bliss. Third step is bringing the stasis. The stasis will help you align with a lot of things. Therefore, once you're in the stasis, completely step away or move away any negative thoughts. Make sure by this time you should already know that there is no thought there, but the feeling of bliss and the mind of bliss and stasis. Therefore, if any thought, idea, even if it is something that comes to you by surprise, if any thought or idea in any step of this process, if any of these negative thoughts or thoughts that might not be necessary for that time, if they come up, simply send them love and watch them dissolve. Send these thoughts love. The I am not worthies, the negative thoughts about other people, the negative thoughts about yourself, the other thoughts that might come up that are odd and you might not have had any idea. It is important to send the love, to give them love and watch them dissolve. Do not focus on them. Focus on the bliss and the love in your body, and they will dissolve. My dears, we are okay to continue. Yes, we must understand that these are important subject matters that we need to follow through to fruition and completely. And to help you understand this no more than the vessel, to her credit, she has been able to complete these. Although many of you must understand that it is necessary to keep practicing even after you have completed it. Keep practicing. Stay in the now. Be ready at all times with what it is you really want, having had written it down and having completed all these processes. You will be ready for the next step, and we will continue with the next step at another time. While these are very important and very needed, we must say that in no uncertain circumstances we say that anything else is not important to come to mind within these meditative processes. You must understand that when there is the love in the process, it is good enough. You do not need to continue on to the next steps. The stasis, however, is super important. You do not need the rest. However, if you do wish to master this and to come into alignment, you must proceed to the next steps. Otherwise, it is good that you continue practicing this until you bring all these steps Make sure that you master each step first before you get to the next step. And that was it, my dears. You will understand these, and you, once you put these into practice, you will see how they are very helpful, and how they will help increase your understanding as well. Once you put them into practice, you will know that they work, and you will understand how it is they work. Because you see, in the mind and in the body, there exists a lot more than you can ever understand. We have the capacity in our mind to hold all of these frequencies, all of these reverberations in the body. We have this ability to bring into our lives what it is we want by coming into these frequencies of these stasis and aligning ourselves and being able to complete these processes is no easy feat. It is imperative, though, that you complete each step to its mastering, and master it one step at a time. Give yourselves the love and compassion to not be in the negative, or to not stress about it. Be compassionate to yourselves. If you do not get it the first time, you will be able to get it the next time and the next time. It is a process that will take you into the journey into yourself and the capacity that exists within the body, and that has many ways to unfold, not only in the alignment, but into the peace giving of your mind, and having a full understanding of how to bring peace into your life. It is not enough to say that we can complete these processes without the alignment. We can, and you will be able to, as long as you as long as you are able to bring these into fruition into your life, you will be very well ready to complete the next processes. Just be patient with yourselves. Be patient enough to say to yourself that you matter and that you're important in this world. Be patient with yourself to say to yourself that it is good enough, and to move to the next step when you are ready. Be able to do this for yourself. Be kind to yourself. Do not waver, and keep practicing. The more you practice, the better you get. Becoming and being are of this matter, my dears. Being and becoming are the forms of practices that will continue to give you an increase in these abilities in life, to become and to be, to help you move into the next steps of what it is that will unfold for you and be of the process of completion to you, my dears. Whatever it is you may need, you may ask and inquire within through the vessel, and she will be kind enough to give you advice and will be able to inquire within as well if she does not have the answers. For she has the lifetime of wisdom and the knowledge of having gone through these meditative processes herself. And therefore, she will be able to guide you as to how to incorporate many of these things into your life. These are the knowledge and teachings of many lives as well, for there have been many lives in this vessel of wisdom. And to keep on with the subject matter, we must say that you are in your right if you want to complete them, and if you don't wish to complete these processes, you are also in your right as well. However, it is at will, of course, is what we are trying to say. However, if you want to get to the next steps, you must complete these processes. For the next steps are what will enrich your entire life, not just what you want to align with. It is of the nature all-encompassing within the soul to seek this type of information and to be able to bring it to fruition, my dears. What it is simply the best input that you can have and about these knowledges, and to continue with these processes. You will be able to align yourself, yes, but to continue with these processes, you must complete all the steps. And we will continue with the next part at another time and in another transmission. That has been all, my dears. Have the love within you at all times and the bliss. That is a must. Love and light, and until the next time, my dears.